Hello guys and welcome back to the Oceania Racing League. Sorry for some of the technical problems we had there getting it started. Bit of a delayed stream, but we are back at it for Division 1 and we are at Japan at the moment right now. We have to see who's going to take pole here. We got quite a few new drivers who have come in the league since crossplay was announced. There was a bit of a problem with the crossplay, but we got a few crossplay members in the lobby today, but some couldn't make it unfortunately, but we'll be getting that sorted after this race. But right now let's focus on the drivers we have in the lobby right now. We got 14 drivers, 6 of them have set lap times so far, the fastest one being Lindsay Games up at the front here with a 131.4, who's currently in the pits. K-Man has gone second with a 132.2. If we go put the gaps on from the leader, you can already see there's an 8/10 difference between Lindsay Games and K-Man, which is quite significant between like two drivers. It's 8/10, but towards the end of qualifying that gap is probably going to get a lot less. If we go down to the rest of the grid, we got Charles Leclerc, who I believe is on a fine lap at the moment, and nearly spun it there. That's going to ruin Charles Leclerc's flying lap. Got a bit of oversteer on the exit there. We got yellow flags as well. That seems to be a Williams, I think. Not, maybe it was Gordo. There's a bit of dirt on the side of the car. We've got K-Man coming out on his out lap again. New driver to the league. It'll be interesting to see how he does in this competitive race. It's a lot more competitive than, you know, your just typical online lobby or your, you know, my team career mode. So you really gotta try and do well in these races if you actually want to have any chance of getting points. Got OC Extra just moving out the side, out the way for traffic coming by. Let's try and find someone who we can hop on board with for the next lap. We got here OC Extra on his out lap. We'll ride on board with him until he gets to his flying lap. We've got a couple yellow flags. I think that's an Alpine going slow up ahead. Maybe they're just moving out of the way and cause some yellow flags. So currently OC Extra is in 7th place. So he will be looking to improve on that. OC Extra's been with us for a couple races in the past, but was still a relatively new driver compared to the ones who were with us from the beginning. Both the Mercedes have not set laps, but we do have Water Hydrates, who is also a new driver on a flying lap. We'll actually ride on board with him because he's a new driver here and I'm interested to see how good he does in this race. Here we go, down the main straight. It's a decent main straight. You could possibly get some overtakes done here in the race. Meanwhile, HMU Burn sets a new fastest lap in the AlphaTauri. Here we have Water Hydrates coming down into turn 1. You've got to make sure not to exceed the track limits there. Using all of the track here, if he gets this first sector right, it could be a real advantage for him for the rest of the lap, because you can gain a lot of time in this first sector, because some people do not know how to do it right. Still in sector 1 here, approaching sector 2, we've got a fast right-hander here, does it perfectly. And that one as well, he's got some traffic of the Williams up ahead, but I'm not sure if the Williams is on a flying lap as well. And then we got the McLaren of OCE extra up ahead, and that's the Williams who spun out. I'm not sure if that was on a flying lap. Probably was if he did spin out, because everyone's pushing on their flying laps. Coming down into this double left-hander here. You've just got to make sure you use it all for the track on the exit here, which Water Hydrates does perfectly. This could be looking to be a very decent lap from Water Hydrates here. His teammate Lone Fiber has gone 4th, just behind the Alpine of Cayman. Going around the final few corners here, that last chicane can be a bit tricky sometimes, especially in the exit coming down the main straight. Water Hydrates goes 3rd and pushes Cayman and his teammate down to 4th and 5th. That's a very decent lap from Water Hydrates. As we ride on board with Charlotte Cher, who's in the Ferrari. Had a bit of a not the best race in Hungary last week, or 2 weeks ago actually. I believe he got spun out or made contact with another driver, so Charles Cher will be looking to get some good points for Ferrari along with Zippy Bumper, currently on an out lap. We got Zippy Bumper who's actually on a flying lap but is 2 tenths down. Maybe he can make it up going into these last sectors and turns. We got yellow flags out. That was an Alpine, I believe, maybe Cayman. Yeah, that was Cayman. Again, not sure what happened to him, but we're still riding on board with the Zippy Bumper. There's Bunker Boy in the background getting the slipstream. Zippy Bumper moving out the way, maybe he's given up on this flying lap. Bunker Boy on his own flying lap here, he would have gotten that slipstream, which would have helped him greatly. Going on these final few corners, nice and easy, not pushing the track too hard there. Down the main straight, let's see where he goes. And he goes pole, Bunker Boy, with a 131.1, 2 tenths or 3 tenths faster than H. Meeburn. Lindsay Games is also on a flying lap and is 2 tenths up. Lindsay Games will be looking to take back this provisional pole from Bonker Boy. Purple sector 2, I believe, and Bonker Boy's out of the session. Not sure what happened to him because he just finished his flying lap, so he would have been on an in lap. But anyways, we've got Lindsay Games coming down the main straight, who goes provisional pole with a 130.7, 3 tenths faster than Bonker Boy and 6 tenths faster than H. Meeburn. We got Cayman on the flying in lap, I believe. And see who else we have out here. We got Charlotte Cher on a flying lap, who we were on board with before. F1 will be looking to implement that special Ferrari livery soon, but not in time for this race, so but possibly the next one. Anyways, we have Charlotte Cher coming through these sectors here. We got it. Yellow flags out near the pit lane. Be interesting to see if Bonker Boy can maintain at least a spot in the top 3, even though he has retired, because it was a pretty decent lap, but unfortunately he did retire from the session. But that really, if you're new to this sport, it doesn't matter if you retire, because he's still in P2, so that means he will be starting P2 at the moment for the race. This is one of the, if I was watching a race at this circuit, I'd want to be at this corner here. It's a really fast left-hander, and you can get some amazing overtakes done there. I bet there'll be a few drivers who are posting their overtakes and overtake of the week through that corner. We have Charlotte Cher coming down the main straight now, who goes 4th fastest, but still nearly 1 second behind Lindsay Games, so quite considerably off the pace. We also have to consider who's using custom setups here, because they can make quite a difference in both pace-wise and tyre wear for the race, which we will see. But we got 3 minutes left of qualifying now. We got quite a few drivers coming out on their out laps, including Cayman, who was 2nd to begin with, now down to 6th. Not sure what happened there. That was a Mercedes and a Ferrari going extremely slowly off ahead. Cayman's lost his whole front wing, and that looks like Cayman's qualifying is going to be over, because he's going to have to go back into the pits and he might not have time to come back out. Really unfortunate for him. Not sure what happened there, but he just has to make sure he moves out of the way for all the drivers coming on their flying laps now. I believe it was Water Hydrates who was going slowly, who Cayman went into the back of. possible collision dispute will be opened up after the race because of that incident. Lone Fiber Water Hydrates teammate coming out of the pits now to go on his outlap. Let's see if HMU Burn. Yes, HMU Burn is on a flying lap as well. And as well as J-Man, but J-Man seems to be over a second down in his time, so the real driver we're looking at here is HMU Burn, who will be trying to take provisional pole from Lindsay Games, coming down into the final chicane here. Oh, he has invalidated his lap. I'm not sure when he did that, didn't notice, but J-Man also invalidating his lap. They don't think they'll get another lap in, so let's see if anyone else can contest for pole here at the Japan Grand Prix. We've got Water Hydrates currently in 7th, getting the toe and DRS wide open down that main straight. He set a pretty decent lap to begin with, but then a lot of other drivers overtook him. He's going wide there. That would have lost him a great amount of time. He went into the grass and using all of the track there, same as last time. Maybe this Williams can give him a good toe so he can improve on his lap time. Coming down through Sector 2 here. Let's see where he finishes Sector 2, how his times will be looking. We got a couple drivers going, improving. That's Zippy Bumper, who is going quite fast behind that Mercedes, who will be looking to improve. But let's go back to Lone Fiber, who Water Hydrates. I tried to find Water Hydrates there on the list, but then I just found out he's retired, as well as ISO has. So that's 3 drivers out now. And that is the Mercedes teammate, Lone Fiber, who we've just caught in the action of retiring. Not sure what's happened with Mercedes today. Both relatively new drivers to this league. All the drivers seem to be either in the pits or quite far down on their timing, so it does be looking like Lindsay Games will be getting pole position here at the Japan Grand Prix. Not sure why Charles is going slow up here on his out lap. He will not get another lap in, I'm pretty sure. OC Extra, I think, is one of the only ones on the flying lap, as well as Zippy Bumper. Let's ride on board with him because he looks to be going a bit faster than the McLaren, who I think he is a bit slower than his last lap time, but he can maybe make it up in this last chicane. Brakes a bit late there and goes extremely wide in that last corner. Not the best chicane for him. Let's see if he improves. No, he doesn't. OC Extra 30 seconds behind with no front wing. Plug mode 2/10 behind, but there's always chances to make up time, especially considering he's only about halfway through the circuit. And he is in 11th right now. I know Plug Mode's a good driver, so he will definitely not be happy finishing in 11th. He will be looking to improve. It does look like Lindsay Games will be taking pole, unless Plug Mode can do anything about it, but currently he's 1.6 seconds down, so not sure if he can really do anything there. Going a bit wide in that corner. Let's see where he finishes Sector 2, if he's up on his lap time. He's 5/10 down. I doubt he will be improving on that. We got Gordo AU here, who's 20 seconds up on his lap time. The teammate of... Oh, Plug Mode's out of the session. No, we were just on board with Plug Mode before, not sure what happened to him, but we got Gordo coming down the main straight now. Let's see where he puts his Williams. Couldn't quite catch there where he put it, but he goes 12th overall, which is, I think, is where he was before. So that will be Lindsay Games starting on pole here. 3/10 faster than Bonker Boy. We got the AlphaTauri in an Aston Martin sandwich there. And as we go further down the grid, we got K-Man in 6th. Both the Ferraris in 5th and 8th. Both the Mercedes starting next to each other in 9th and 10th. We've got the Williams starting next to each other as well in 11 and 12. And we got the Red Bull starting last of ISO Skits. We had 3 drivers retire, so they will be near the back of the grid for this race. If you are interested in joining this league, just head on over to our links we've provided on our YouTube channel to the Discord, and then there you can apply for a team. Currently we have introduced crossplay, but there seems to be some issues, but we will try and get that fixed after this race. But right now we have to focus on the race, which is just minutes away from starting now. We do have a formation lap, and the strategy will be coming into play. It's a 50% race, so 1 stop, 2 stops. If you get front wing, you might be doing 3 stops, so it'd be very important that you get the strategy right. We have the formation lap will be getting underway shortly. Drivers will be loading in their strategies for today. Let's take a look at tyres, and we will be getting the predicted pit stop strategy coming up soon. Where we got detail, I think it's here. Yeah, tyres. So most drivers are on the mediums. Water hydrate starting in the softs. You know, if you're starting last, you might as well risk it and try and go for a bold strategy. Lindsay Games starting on pole. What a lap we saw from Lindsay, 3/10 faster than P2. We got Bonker Boy, great result for the Aston Martin, or the Aston Martin team in general, starting 2nd and 4th. We got H. Mewburn, as I said before, in the Aston Martin sandwich. Charlotte starting in 5th, behind the Aston Martin. We got OC Extra in a Ferrari sandwich. We have Lone Fiber, who was going wide there into the gravel. Don't really want to be doing that on your formation lap because you could be wrecking your tyres before the race even starts. Pog Mode in the Williams starting 9th, alongside K-Man in 10th, who got his front wing destroyed in qualifying. But I know K-Man, you know, you don't give up that easily just because your qualifying was destroyed. Predicted pit stop strategy, most drivers going on a 1-stop mediums to hards. Some drivers, like Water Hydrates, going for a 2-stop, going from softs to mediums to hards. I believe that is what it was, or either softs to hards to mediums. There is a quite a possible chance of a safety car here. We've got 14 drivers. I know last race we had like 2 to 3 safety cars, which can bunch the field up together again, making it more exciting. But I think as the races have gone by this season, drivers have gotten more used to racing competitively side to side, so they learn how to not take each other out. Because I remember the first race, or the first couple of races, we had like 2 drivers finishing once. So let's see if the drivers, because you know in races like this, especially 50% with 27 laps, you don't want to be retiring on lap 1 because you know you have 27 laps to do a recovery drive if you do get taken out. I remember once I was down at the bottom and I ended up on the podium at the top just because I didn't just quit as soon as I spun, because I know some drivers, they will just leave the lobby if they spin. So hopefully none of the drivers here do that, but we have all the drivers lining up on the grid. Lindsay Games lining up perfectly there. We got a couple cars quite far behind. Bonker Boy coming up alongside Lindsay Games here. I think on the race start we're going to go on board with Bonker Boy and see how his start goes. We got the lights coming on now. We got 5 lights here at Japan. The lights go out. We have a little pause and they are off now. Here we go. Lindsay Games starting on pole. We got the Aston Martin of Bonker Boy nearly coming alongside, and we got the Aston Martin and AlphaTauri behind them going side by side. The Ferrari going a bit wide there with the McLaren up the inside. Let's jump a bit back and see what we have going on here. Couple drivers going side by side, including the Mercedes there. And that's the AlphaTauri going wide. That's the AlphaTauri out of the session. Possible collision with another driver there. Don't think we have a safety car yet, just the yellow flags out. And that the J-Man has moved up into third after the AlphaTauri retired there. It's a double podium right now for Aston Martin. And we do have a safety car. All the drivers slowing down now. It will give a chance for any drivers who got front wing damage to jump into the pits now and not lose too much time. Water Hydrates, who started on those softs, is up into 5th. What a start for Water Hydrates. I would love to see that from his perspective after the race. If we go to what is it? Position change, here we are. So Bonker Boy and Lindsay Games have maintained their positions. As I said before, Water Hydrates moving up 9 places and his teammate moving up 2. Charles Chair, not the best start for him. Didn't notice before, but his teammate Zippy Bump is also out of the session. So Charles Chair will be trying to get some points for Ferrari, because he will be the only driver getting points for Ferrari here. Gordo, AU and F1 Twitch moving up 3 places. Plug Mode moving down 1. We got Iso Skits, who started last, has moved up 2 places. And K-Man in last has moved down 2. Let's see who jumps into the pits here. Doesn't seem like any drivers are. K-Man into the pits, so that must be why he was at the back of the grid before. And we also have Water Hydrates into the pits. It's unfortunate for him because he gained 9 positions there, so he could have had a really good race if he didn't get front wing damage, but at least there's a safety car so he can put on some tyres. He will probably be going for a 1-stop after this onto the hards. We take a look at the tyres that people are on. Yep, so K-Man going on to the softs, surprisingly. Probably going softs to hards, I'd say. But yeah, the softs, I think they are working pretty well on the circuit, as proven by Water Hydrates. Let's move up further in the grid to near the top. And Lindsay Gaines will be looking to get the best safety car restart possible. The Aston Martins, maybe some team strategy coming into play here. I remember when I was racing in another league, and I was in a teammate with another driver. If one of us was fast on faster tyres, we would swap positions to try and get the best outcome for the team. So you never know if both the Aston Martins are, in a voice chat talking about strategy, because I know I definitely was when I was a teammate with another driver. But they will be definitely looking to not take each other out on this safety car restart. We got OC Extra in 4th, who is the only McLaren out today. Lots of the cars bunched up together, sweeping to warm up their tyres. The safety car won't be in this lap, but I'm pretty sure it will be in next lap, so still plenty of time for drivers to get their mindset ready for the safety car restart, and the 25 or 24 laps after the safety car restart that will be to follow. And that's very close there for Lone Fiber. The McLaren of OC Extra slammed on the brakes there. You got to maintain a good gap to the car ahead on the safety cars, because I know in the past lots of drivers have been quite irritated because they've been spun out under safety cars or been brake checked accidentally. So they just all need to keep good gaps between each other and only go side by side on the restart, because you're not racing on, and you can see the fans there all going crazy for the safety car, all cheering for their own drivers. I know Lindsay Games is fighting for the championship, and I believe I'm a Nubatron was fighting Lindsay Games for that championship, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out in the standings. Just gotta invite a driver for the race. Oh no, never mind, sorry. I was gonna invite a driver, but we've already started, so can't do that now. Or maybe I can. Let me just check. Alright, couldn't invite the driver, but we're back here. My controller is pretty low on battery, but I got another one charging, so we should be fine if I cut out at some stage in this race. Safety car will be probably coming in this lap. As we move further down, we got the Aston Martins behind Lindsay Games, and McLaren of OC Extra, followed by Lone Fiber and Charlotte, who has spun out. I know Charlotte didn't make contact with another driver, so that's purely Charlotte's fault. That's put Charlotte down into last place. Really unfortunate for them. We've got Lindsay Games, who will be leading the safety car restart here. Often the FIA, they announce the safety car restarts extremely late. Here, okay, race controls just let us know the safety car's in this lap, so it will be speeding off in the distance, and all the drivers will be looking to warm up their tyres and get good safety car restarts. Some drivers go more aggressive than others and side by side into the last few corners, but generally good race etiquette is to just leave the other driver space until he gets to the line. This is extremely close, and Lindsay Games seems to go off. We got the Aston Martin just behind Lindsay Games, who will be getting the tow, the ERS, and will be looking to make a move down into turn 1. They do seem like they're a bit too far back. We got both the Aston Martins just behind Lindsay Games. McLaren has a decent gap between all the other drivers. We've got some jostling in the midfield there. That's Bonker Boy spinning out, Lone Fiber going up into 4th. There's a couple of drivers going wide there. That's the Alpine, I believe, of K-Man. And that is Water Hydrates with no front wing. OC Extra has moved up into 3rd place after the Aston Martin of Bonker Boy spun out. Such a shame for them, considering that it was an Aston Martin 2-3. But Lone Fiber will be trying to catch Bonker Boy now. We've got 11 drivers left in this race. 3 of them are retired. They'll just have to keep their races together now for the rest. We've got another 24 laps now. And still some pit stops to come, so there's plenty of chances to try and get moves done here. But all J-Man, OC Extra and Lone Fiber have to do now is just to stay within 1 second of Lindsay Games, or the driver ahead I mean, to maintain their DRS. As we move to the interval gaps, we can see all the battles that are going on here. Decent gaps between all the drivers, but we've got OC Extra, who has tapped the Aston Martin, and the Aston Martin spins out and hits Lone Fiber. That will be Lone Fiber coming into the pits, I believe. No, they don't, but that is J-Man into the pits. I'm not really sure what happened there. I believe McLaren tapped the Aston Martin, which then spun into the Mercedes. But I think the Mercedes has front wing damage, because I did see some damage coming off. Doesn't look like it from this view. Might have been the Aston Martin getting damage. Bonker Boy up into 4th after his teammate had to go into the pits. That's Lone Fiber, who has spun out. Or maybe they had contact. It looks like their front wing's still intact, but their tyres will be pretty destroyed now. K-Man's up into 5th place after starting last, behind the Haas of F1 Twitch. We'll ride on board with the Alpine, who gets really close with the Haas there. Let's see how K-Man does. He just has to stay within 1 second now to keep the DRS, but DRS is only activated after 3 laps from the safety car, so there's still quite like 2 laps or 1 lap before DRS gets activated. All the drivers seem to have decent gaps between them, so the only real battle we have going on here is the Haas and the Alpine for 4th place. We also have Bonker Boy nearing in on the McLaren, but we will stay with K-Man for the time being. That's OC Extra out of the session for some reason. He gets ghosted, so all the other drivers can come through. Not sure what happened for the McLaren there, but that puts F1 Twitch into the podium places. That leaves us with 10 drivers left in this race, meaning every driver, if they complete 80% of the laps, they will be getting points today. And that is a safety car. Second safety car of the race, which will give all the drivers that were further down a chance to catch up. I know Water Hydrates has already made a couple pit stops because of his front wing. Maybe some drivers, maybe they might be coming to the pits now. Could be very a bold strategy if they go into the hards now. Maybe it's a bit too early for that. But that's up to them to decide their own pit stop strategy. I know that we used to have Jeff telling us when to box, but sometimes they don't make the best decisions. Our race engineers, so all the drivers have to make their own decisions for themselves. Don't think anyone has front wing damage right now, not that I can see, but we have Lindsay Games and Bonker Boy. I'm pretty sure Bonker Boy started second. If I go to the so Bonker Boy started second and Lindsay Games started first, so they haven't changed positions. I know Bonker Boy spun, I believe, but he's made those places up again. F1 Twitch moving up 9 places. It's been a great start, or first couple laps for him, or first 6 laps for him. We have K-Man in 4th place, moved up 6 places. He did have to make a pit stop early in the race, but that safety car would have brought him back into the race. Let's take a look at tyres now, because I know some drivers have to have made pit stops because they had front wing damage. We've got 3 drivers on softs, and as I said before, the bold strategy, as for skits, on the hards will be looking to go to the end. Top 3 drivers though start on the medium still, haven't made any pit stops yet, so it's getting very close there. K-Man nearly went into the back of the Haas. They just got to all leave each other space here under the safety car. Sorry for the break there, I just had to go do something, but we are back. The safety car's probably coming in this lap. Now, if you are a Sky Q or a Sky Glass customer, we do have a little poll you can vote on in the chat here for who will be taking the win. Currently, the 4 drivers have been put into that poll because they are the most likely ones to get the win here today, the top 4 drivers, but make sure you put your votes in for that, because safety car is in this lap. Race control has just announced Lindsay Games got a pretty decent safety car restart last time, but I know Bonker Boy was also had a really good safety car restart, so let's see if Bonker Boy can do the exact same thing now. Bonker Boy warming up his tyres, getting them nice and toasty for this restart. Lindsay Games will be looking to get a good exit here and getting on the traction nice and easily. And that's Lindsay Games off now. Lindsay Games was kind of tapping on the throttle there, faking a restart, but we have all the drivers jostling behind. We got K-Man making some moves up behind. Oh, maybe he's getting overtaken. It's a bit hard to see with this camera angle, so let's jump onto onboards. The Mercedes getting tapped by K-Man and tapped again. The Ferrari is off onto the track. We got the Williams going down the inside of the Haas there. And we got the Aston Martin right behind Lindsay Games. Is getting better exits through these corners. If he just stays behind Lindsay Games until the main straight, he can use his ERS and that toe to make a move. But it's really crucial that he just stays with Lindsay Games now, because he can't just wait until another safety car to bring him close again. He has to stay with Lindsay Games. We got Gordo up into 3rd place, came out down in 4th. Not sure what happened to the Mercedes of Lone Fiber, who got double tapped by K-Man. And we got the Williams and the Alpine driving side by side back there. The Alpine of Cayman will be looking to make some moves. He just has to stay with the Williams until they get to the main straight. The Alpine is on softs, so there is quite a considerable pace advantage there, but those softs will be losing their performance as in the coming laps. We will also start seeing some drivers diving into the pit soon. The Williams going wide and has spun, and that might be front wing damage for Gordo. That's chaos at the back of the grid. Water Hydrate's losing his front wing again, who will be coming into the pits. Who doesn't actually come into the pits, as will be losing quite a lot of time for Water Hydrates. We got both the Mercedes near the back of the grid. We got J-Man jumping into the pits, who might have front wing damage. Let's see. No, he doesn't. It's just a normal pit stop, but he has gotten a penalty. And there is another safety car. It's the third safety car of the race. We have had 4 drivers retire, so maybe in the future, right now, safety car, the chance of a safety car set to standard, we used to have it on increase, but might have to turn that to reduce, because it's quite crazy having 3 safety cars in the span of 10 laps. But yet again, it will give the drivers at the bottom a chance to catch up. We only have 9 drivers left now, so yet again, all the drivers will be getting points if they finish this race. Bottom 3 drivers going on the hards. This strategy could play out really well for them if they... because I know the top 2 drivers have not pitted, so if the bottom 3 drivers going to the end on these hards, they could be looking like kind of like what happened at Zandvoort with Max Verstappen before that safety car happened, because Lindsay Games and Bunkerboy will be having to make moves on all those hard compound tyres if they want to take the win back. Let's take a look at this poll which I put up before. K-Man has got 67% of the votes, who is the favourite driver at the moment. Let's see if K-Man can pull his race together and manage to take the win here. There's some damage on the side of his car there, as you can see it driving past, but I don't think that will affect it. We've got Lindsay Gaines with 33% of the votes, who's in the lead currently, who personally I think deserves the win today, who has managed to nail 2 safety car restarts and qualifying. So if Lindsay Gaines can do it a 3rd time, that is really just showing how good of a driver Lindsay Gaines is. Let's take a look at position changes, as we did all the other safety cars. K-Man moving up 7 places from last. That's a couple of drivers coming to the pits now, Bonker Boy and Lindsay Games. That is actually... Oh, Bonker Boy's gotten a 3-second time penalty for speeding. Not the best for Bonker Boy, but these pit stops here seem to be crucial, because under the safety car it will give them a chance to catch up. But does that mean that all the... If I go tyres... all the cars such as Lone Fiber and J-Man, because they've made the same amount of pit stops and the hard tyres are only a couple of laps older, that might mean that their strategy will give them the advantage over Lindsay Games and Bonker Boy. We got some drivers at the front who never pitted, F1 Twitch and Charlotte, I believe, who haven't pitted yet. So they will be near the back of the grid once they do get those pit stops in. They might be pitting this lap, but the safety car will probably be coming this lap. We have K-Man in the lead now, but those softs, they will probably be really affecting his pace in the coming laps. I don't think there's any graphics we can have for tyre wear, but I do know that those softs will be wearing out quite a bit. K-Man, this will be his first safety car restart, leading the safety car restart in the Oceania Racing League. So he has to get the Ferrari getting a bit aggressive there with the Haas going side by side, and the Aston Martin nearly making contact with the Mercedes. So just need to give each other the space here, because I know nobody's going to want to be getting front wing damage under a safety car. But I'm really interested to see how Lindsay Gaines does the safety car restart, because if Lindsay Gaines does it right, those new hard tyres, if they're all toasty and warmed up, Lindsay Gaines could be moving up back into the podium places even just after 1 lap. We're just waiting for the message from race control now, probably coming in the next few seconds, I'd say. Yep, race control has said that the safety car is in this lap. K-Man starting from first place on the safety car restart. All the drivers, you can see them weaving behind, warming up their tyres. We're going to be going on board with F1 Twitch, who will be looking to get a good safety car restart. K-Man is not wasting any time but going slowly. He is just off, and that is a good safety car restart for K-Man. Charles Leclerc is just behind the Haas, who is going side by side. That's Mercedes also going side by side with the Aston Martin. Charles Leclerc going down the inside of F1 Twitch. Will he get the move done? It's nearly a switchback for the Haas of F1 Twitch. Yes, he does. He has done the switchback. Can he just stick it in the next coming corners? Yes, he does. The Aston Martin looking to go down the inside of Charles Leclerc. Charles has lost out on a few places there from the Aston Martin and the Haas. We've Lindsay Games already up into 4th place now, as I said before, and the Aston Martin moving around Charles Leclerc. Is that front wing damage for Charles Leclerc? Because Charles Leclerc has lost a bunch of places. Yes, it is. That is why the Ferrari lost all those places. K-Man has maintained the lead and has built a gap over 1 second. That's the Aston Martin getting a bit squiggly on the exit there. We got the Mercedes, who are next to each other at the back here, with ISO Skits in last place. Let's ride on board with Lindsay Games, who will be trying to catch up to J-Man. And let's turn off the tyre wear now. And that's 2 drivers out of the race. What happened with Water Hydrates and Charles Leclerc? We only have 7 drivers left now. That's half of the drivers have retired. That's another safety car. It's our 4th safety car today. We definitely need to turn this safety car chance down to reduce for Did2 race later today, because that is quite crazy that we've had another safety car. But that will give a chance for K-Man to go into the pits. Surely K-Man going into the pits now? Yes, he is, and maybe F1 Twitch as well. Yep, so it looks like J-Man and Lindsay Games will be back into the podium places, and J-Man will be retaking that lead. These safety cars have worked out quite well for K-Man here, because considering he was starting last, he will now be in 4th place. We only have 7 drivers left now, meaning half of them have retired. And if you want to get points from this race after retiring, you have to have completed 80% of the laps, which means that all the drivers that have retired will not be getting points today, which could play a big role in the standings. As we take a look back at that poll now, all the drivers that are in the poll seem to still be in this race, so they still all have a chance of taking the win. But one driver who wasn't on that poll, who's now in the lead, is J-Man, who might be taking the win here. I'm pretty sure J-Man has never gotten a win in the Oceania recently before, so he's probably sweating his hands off now, trying to maintain that pole position, especially with a driver like Lindsay Gaines just behind you, one of the best drivers in the league. He will be having to concentrate for every single lap for the rest of this race now. Lindsay Games is in an Aston Martin sandwich like H. Mewburn was in the beginning. We got some drivers trying to catch up like ISO Skits after making the pit stops under the safety car. K-Man has catched up alongside F1 Twitch. Let's take a look at these penalties now, because I can see 2 drivers have gotten penalties. That's a 3 second for Bonker Boy and 5 second for Bonker Boy and a 3 second for Lone Fiber. So K-Man, theoretically, he is in the podium places right now. But if Bonker Boy and Lone Fiber are going slowly, that could mean that K-Man doesn't get that 3rd place. So he will be still trying to get past those 2 drivers. 7 drivers left now, so hopefully the race from now is a lot less chaotic, and we can just finish the race with no more safety cars. That was Water Hydrates and Charles Leclerc who crashed out before. I think that was contact between them. Meanwhile, ISO Skits getting a 5 second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. You really have to be careful with these speeding in the pit lane penalties, because you know some people might not be used to that assist being turned off, because it does increase the fairness of these races if all the drivers have to use their skill to enter the pit lane at the correct speed. Bonker Boy, I remember now, he did get that penalty for speeding in the pit lane as well. So if he didn't have that 5 second, he could be challenging for the lead here, but right now I think the lead of this race is a battle between J-Man and Lindsay Games. On the safety car restart, we will be going on board Lindsay Games, who has gotten good safety car restarts for the past 3 times. Because I know when Lindsay Games pitted last safety car and managed to gain a lot of places off the restart, so maybe Lindsay Games can do it again and take first place back. There does seem to be we will be looking to have a full lobby for the Div 2 race today. We're just going to try and get that crossplay sorted out. The Mercedes of Lone Fiber is the only Mercedes running in this race. In fact, all the cars on the grid are the only cars running for their team apart from Aston Martin, who will be having that constructor advantage. Meanwhile, we will be having race control announcing the safety car in this lap very shortly. Any second now, we'll get a message from race control. I can see the safety car speeding off in the distance, and indeed that is the safety car in this lap. Lindsay Games will be concentrating like never before here if Lindsay Games wants to maximise his points in the driver standings. But maybe Bonker Boy, he can help his teammate out by putting some pressure on the Alfa Romeo. Let's see what happens here. We have the Aston Martin already quite far ahead. I have no idea what happened to Lindsay Games' restart there. That's given a big advantage for J-Man. Meanwhile, we got the cars nearly going through wide back there with the Aston Martin in front. Mercedes sending it down the inside of K-Man with the Aston Martin and Bonker Boy just ahead. The top 3 drivers have maintained their positions, and that's K-Man spinning out in the background. What a shame for him. All the drivers have good gaps between them now, so no battles going on at the moment. The closest battle we have is Bonker Boy, who will be putting pressure on Lindsay Games. We have yellow flags at the back. That's K-Man probably spinning out again. It's a big shame for him. His race seems to maybe have been ruined, but you never know. There's another 12 laps, 13 laps now, so there could always be another safety car, 5th safety car in this race. So K-Man just has to keep his pace up if he wants any chance of finishing in a good position. All the drivers in from P3 down to P5 have penalties, which will affect their race. We got K-Man spinning out again in the back, and again, and K-Man's lost his whole front wing. What is going on with K-Man? Let's focus on up at the front now. We got Lindsay Games, who will be trying to catch J-Man. I know J-Man is a good driver. I was driving side by side with him back in Bahrain for like 8 laps, so I know he is a clean driver, but that doesn't mean he's aggressive. He will be trying to maintain pole position. Meanwhile, Lindsay Games setting the fastest lap on those hard tyres. If we go back to the tyres, all the drivers right now are on hard tyres, so I think every driver's pit stop strategy is finished now, so you can't gain positions by pit stop strategy now. Now it's only down to pure pace and aggression. Nearly a 1-second gap is building between the Alfa Romeo and J-Man, and Bonker Boy is nearing behind the Alfa Romeo, so Lindsay Games is in an Aston Martin sandwich right now, but Lindsay Games is nearing on the Aston Martin. I thought Lindsay Games was going to send it into that corner for a second, but he makes the wise decision to probably wait until a long straight to actually get any moves done. That is Lindsay Games getting extremely close behind J-Man. And yet there's no DRS. DRS hasn't been allowed yet because the safety car was just a couple of laps back. So if Lindsay Games gets past here, I'll be very surprised. Oh, J-Man covering off that inside line. As I said on the formation lap, that corner can make some very nice overtakes. But Lindsay Games will probably be getting past in the straight here, but J-Man has gotten an amazing exit now. DRS has been enabled from race control. Bonker Boy setting the fastest lap. Bonker Boy, J-Man will be really calling for Bonker Boy to put some pressure on the Alfa Romeo now. You know, we got the Lone Fiber in the background, who's quite far back. But if Bonker Boy can put some pressure on Lindsay Games, it will ease off the pressure on J-Man and make it a lot easier for him to maintain the lead. Lindsay Games is very close behind J-Man, and with a tow, ERS and DRS, this overtake looks to be becoming more and more realistic as the laps go by. Lindsay Games is getting extremely close now. Bonker Boy is just trying to keep that gap under 1 second to try and stay within that DRS. That gap is so close. If Lindsay gets a good exit here, J-Man could be getting overtaken, but J-Man is using his ERS very using it. Oh, but here we go, Lindsay Games on the outside into the left-hander corner. There's a bit of contact between them, but Lindsay Games has gotten that move done. Whoa, what an overtake from Lindsay Games. I nearly thought it was going to be a Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, Silverstone 2021, but no, it wasn't. But we got J-Man with the DRS, sending it down the main straight here. It's a battle for the lead. Into turn 1. Both the lights on the cars are flashing, meaning they've both used all of their ERS, but J-Man takes the lead back there. If we go to telemetry, we can see the ERS difference, both of them around the 15% mark. So all the drivers seem to have used all their ERS, the top 3 drivers. We'll flick that telemetry back on when we get to the straight next time, or before the straight, so we can see how much ERS each driver has. That's yellow flags at the back. That is K-Man, I believe, spinning again. Let's see if Bonker Boy can put some pressure on the Alfa Romeo now. All the top 3 drivers will be looking to conserve their ERS so they can use it on the straight now. Let's flick on telemetry now. So we got a 14% for Lindsay Games and 16% for J-Man, so Lindsay Games will not be getting an ERS advantage going into the next few straights, so it's all down to a tow, DRS and pure pace now. Look at that tow through that left-hander. That gained Lindsay Games a bunch of time. There's nearly contact between them, but J-Man will be deploying his ERS now, looking to stay ahead going into turn 1, but Lindsay Games has got an DRS. Lindsay Games is approaching extremely fast, going down the outside. I thought Lindsay Games would have gone down the inside, but Lindsay Games has gotten that move done, and there's still quite a long distance between the next straight, so it will be extremely difficult for J-Man to maintain that gap behind. But J-Man is maintaining the gap actually, so if he just keeps this up until the next straight, J-Man could be getting this lead back. I know Lindsay Games drives with the wheel and J-Man is on controller, and generally the wheel users have an advantage, so it's quite clear that J-Man is a great driver on that controller. And we've got his teammate of Bonker Boy in the background there. But Bonker Boy does have a penalty, so he will not be contesting for the lead. K-Man spinning out again at the back. Not sure what's going on with K-Man there. But we are moving on to the straights now. J-Man has conserved a bit of his ERS compared to Lindsay Games, but Lindsay Games has already built a 1.2 second gap, so I think the only real threat for J-Man here is the Aston Martin behind him. We got the Mercedes nearing in behind both the Aston Martins. J-Man will not be getting ERS on this straight, but his teammate will. There's no team orders here because Bonker Boy will be sending it down into turn 1. He picks the outside line. Oh no, Bonker Boy's gone wide. and J-Man maintains P2. Sorry about that broadcasting for me there. I flicked back to the Mercedes of Lone Fiber. But the top 3 drivers have maintained their position so far. You can see Lindsay Games up ahead in the distance there, so the win isn't out of J-Man's hands here. He just has to get that gap under 1 second. And he has to keep up good pace. He's just lost 3/10 going into that sector there. Wasn't getting those corners quite right. Let's look at tyre age, because that could also affect the race here. So the top 2 drivers, top 3, top 4, top 5 drivers actually have very similar tyre ages, so it doesn't look like there will be a tyre advantage making any difference in this race. But J-Man will be trying to cover off his teammate behind. Let's flick on telemetry and take a look at the ERS here. We got all the top 3 drivers still extremely low on their ERS, so that's J-Man going wide there. What has happened to J-Man? I'm starting to think now, is that front wing damage for J-Man? Because J-Man has lost a bunch of time to Lindsay Games and the position to Bonker Boy. I can't see any damage, but that is the red light flashing for J-Man's teammate of Bonker Boy. So that will be making J-Man catch up quite fast if there's no ERS on the Aston Martin of Bonker Boy. Lindsay Games will be quite comfortable off here, knowing that the Aston Martins are battling back behind. Let's see if this Mercedes can make any effect on this battle. It's a 1.1 second gap. If the Mercedes can get it under 1 second, that could turn this into a 3-way battle for P2 here. And there's still 7 laps to go, so you never know, anything could happen here in the Oceania Racing League. It's been an amazing race between the top 3 drivers. It's been unfortunate for K-Man, who is 1 minute and 30 seconds behind the driver ahead of him. But regardless, K-Man will still be getting points for P7 there. ISO Skits also hasn't had the best race compared to his past races. He's had some amazing drives in Hungary, but he will not be getting that today. J-Man nearing on his teammate. You can see the Mercedes in the background there, who has a 1.6 second gap. So no DRS from the Mercedes, but there will be DRS for the Aston Martin of J-Man. DRS will be going, or maybe no DRS. No, there is DRS, but the gap is over 1 second at the moment. But the Aston Martin of J-Man will be getting that gap under 1 second because of that pace advantage. J-Man cutting that corner there, and I've completely forgotten, but Bonker Boy does have a time penalty, so regardless, J-Man will be getting P2 if Bonker Boy doesn't start upping his pace. And just before, Bonker Boy was going very wide there, and Lone Fiber getting a penalty for corner cutting, I believe. It's only a 5/10 gap now between the Aston Martins. Will J-Man send it into this corner? No, he doesn't. He plays it safe. Bonker Boy took that corner perfectly to maximise his exit there. All this battling has put Lone Fiber within 1 second of the Aston Martins. Lindsay Games will be loving this battle because every time they're going side by side, Lindsay Games is just increasing that gap. J-Man with a 6/10 gap between him and his teammate. Let's see if he can make that gap even smaller, because it seems to me that every time they get to a straight, Bonker Boy is always really far ahead, but Bonker Boy's light is flashing now, meaning that his ERS is quite low. J-Man's got 30%, Bonker Boy's got 0. This could prove vital for J-Man getting past Bonker Boy, because ERS can make a big difference. And that is Bonker Boy into the pits. Was that front wing damage for Bonker Boy? I don't think so. That's a bit of a weird pit stop strategy for Bonker Boy, because I'm not sure in 5 laps if he can make that time back. But Lone Fiber now only 4/10 behind J-Man. That has put Lone Fiber up into the podium places on his debut race. ISO Skits is also getting past Bonker Boy F1 Twitch will not be getting past Bonker Boy, he's way too far back. But Lone Fiber is the only Mercedes running at the moment, so let's see if they can do anything for this battle. The gap is only at 7/10 now, and it is under a second, meaning the Mercedes will be getting DRS. Lone Fiber just has to keep this gap under 1 second. Going wide there, that might have been another penalty. Let's look back at penalties now. 6 seconds for Lone Fiber, so J-Man's probably quite comfortable knowing that there's a bunch of penalties on Lone Fiber's car. J-Man spinning out again. K-Man spinning out again. That's probably about the 10th time he's spun out now. Lone Fiber getting another 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. But he might get past going into turn 1 here. He's got the DRS wide open. No, he hasn't. He was actually too far back. But regardless, he's still gaining pretty fast. That is a safety car. That is a safety car. This race has just seen its 5th safety car. Lone Fiber nearly gets hit by the safety car there. I'm not sure who caused the safety car because I haven't seen any drivers retired yet. That might have been K-Man spinning out for the 10th time that has caused it. But that will bunch up all the drivers. Lindsay Games is probably very nervous now because J-Man will be looking to get past Lindsay Games. I don't think the top 2 drivers will pit though, because then there will be quite a few cars in between them. Or actually, no. If you look on the track map, there is only, like, those top 3 cars, there's a massive gap between Lone Fiber and Bonker Boy, which means that if they pit, they could easily catch up to the podium places on faster, fresher tyres. So we could see quite a few cars coming to the pits now. They will be thinking extremely hard about their pit stop strategy at the moment. If I was them, I would dive into the pits, put on a fresh pair of softs, catch up, and get a good safety car restart and take the win. Because these hard tyres now, if we look at tyre edge, they will be quite, 14 laps, 13 laps. So that is quite a significant difference between a pair of fresh softs and 14 lap hard tyres. Let's see if Lindsay Gaines goes into the pit lane now. No, Lindsay Gaines has faked it. J-Man into the pits, Lone Fiber into the pits. So now I believe Lone Fiber and J-Man will be coming out in front of Bonker Boy. If we look at where Bonker Boy is. Yeah, so they will be coming out in front of Bonker Boy. And they will be catching up to Lindsay Gaines. So I do believe that Lindsay Gaines has made a terrible decision in his pit stop strategy, because J-Man and Lone Fiber will be on fresh softs for the safety car restart. We might only have 1 lap of racing at the end here, so it could get very, very intense. If we look at that poll that I set out, Lindsay Gaines has gotten 57% of the votes. That could be changing now with Lone Fiber and J-Man on the fresher softs. They will be given a chance to catch up now, and Bonker Boy will also be given a chance to catch up. I don't think K-Man, I think he's too far back to catch up now. So F1 Twitch, yeah, he still has a pretty decent chance of catching up, but he's very far back. Safety car probably won't be in this lap, but the lap after, which means if the safety car comes in on lap 25, that means we'll have 2 laps left of racing. So no DRS, that means. So those soft tyres, if we look at tyres now, they will be the only... Actually, J-Man has gone on to the mediums. Maybe J-Man didn't have any pairs of softs available, because he might have gone on to the softs earlier into the race, I can't really remember. But Lone Fiber is on 0 lap old softs, as well as Bonker Boy, ISO Skits, F1 Twitch, and K-Man. So it's looking very interesting now. Lindsay Games, at least Lindsay Games has J-Man behind him on mediums, full lap old mediums. But if Lone Fiber really has to get past the Aston Martin on the safety car restart if they want any chance of getting past Lindsay Games, considering there's only 2 laps left of racing. What a race we're seeing today between all of the drivers today. We've had a great battle between the 2 Aston Martins and Lindsay Games, and now this safety car has really spiced things up for us. I think I will be going on board with Lone Fiber for the safety car restart, because those softs, I'm really interested to see how well they perform going down that main straight, but safety car will probably be coming in this lap. Lindsay Games, I believe this is the 5th safety car of the race and the 4th safety car restart that Lindsay Games will be leading. So Lindsay Games has a lot of experience leading safety car restarts, because he's been in the league with us for quite a long time now and has always been competing at the front. So if Lindsay Games can just maintain that pole position, or sorry, the lead into turn 1, he will be maximising his chances of getting the win here. Bonker Boy also on fresh softs, who will be trying to get past Lone Fiber, as well as Ice and Skits, F1 Twitch. Not sure if they'll be able to catch up. Cayman has caught up, but he is a lap down, so that will be affecting his race. F1 Twitch, I think he's too far back to catch up. Unfortunate for him. The Mercedes going wide there of Lone Fiber. Will the Aston Martin have to give the positions back to Lone Fiber? I'm not really sure what happened there. That is very confusing. Maybe race control told Bonker Boy to overtake Lone Fiber for some reason, and safety car is in this lap. So Bonker Boy on those fresh softs. Let's see if they can do anything to get past J-Man and Lindsay Games. All the cars are going extremely slowly now. F1 Twitch will not be able to catch up. Let's go to the front of the grid and ride on board with Bonker Boy. Off they go. Oh no! What has happened there? Lindsay Games has been spun out by J-Man. That has put Bonker Boy in the lead. Lone Fiber will be making a move down into turn 1. No, he won't be. He was too far back, but what a catastrophe for Lindsay Games. At least Lindsay Games is still in P4, but there's no front wing on Lindsay, and I believe there's no front wing on J-Man either. So, and that's Lone Fiber spinning out. What is going on in this race? Bonker Boy is looking to get the win here. He's gotten rid of all his penalties in those pit stops. So J-Man, if he can just maintain P2 for the last 2 laps with no front wing, then he will be looking. Then Aston Martin will be looking to get a 1-2 here. I have no idea what's happened there, Lindsay Games. There's going to be a serious dispute opened up after the race. Lone Fiber has front wing damage. Lindsay Games also has. Actually, Lindsay Games no front wing damage. At least Lindsay Games might be able to catch up to Lone Fiber by the end of this race and get a podium place. F1 Twitch has caught up to Lindsay Games after he spun out, so you know, the top 5 drivers with all this front wing damage. Still not really sure what's going to happen now. J-Man getting a 3-second penalty now. Let's also flick on our penalties. 9 seconds for Lone Fiber. So Lindsay Games will be getting a podium place, I believe. And if Lindsay Games can get within 3 seconds of J-Man, maybe P2 for Lindsay Games. But Lindsay Games will really have to be pushing. It's the last lap now. J-Man, no front wing. So this, like, if J-Man wants to maintain P2, he's going to have drive pretty well, because Lindsay Games is catching up behind with a full front wing. I do believe Lindsay Games will be getting P2 today, but Bonker Boy will be getting P1. There we go, Lindsay Games. Oh, sorry, Lone Fiber getting past J-Man, and Lindsay Games is just behind. Lone Fiber, I don't believe Lone Fiber has any front wing damage, so that will be, and there's 12 seconds for Lone Fiber, so, and 3 seconds for J-Man, and Lindsay Games is within 3 seconds of J-Man, so right now it's looking to be Bonker Boy, Lindsay Games, and then J-Man for the podium. So it will still be a double Aston Martin podium today. What a race we've seen between these drivers. That really got entertaining on the last couple laps there with the safety car restart. J-Man, Lindsay Games going side by side with J-Man there. But regardless, Lindsay Games will be finishing P3 unless J-Man takes out Lindsay here, which I hope he won't because he has got front wing damage. But you never know, like race disputes, they could give drivers penalties, and that's Lone Fiber spinning out. But as I was saying before, race disputes can give drivers penalties, so you know you always got to just try and get to the line as fast as you can. But we have Bonker Boy, who has taken the win today here at the Japan Grand Prix for Div 1. Lindsay Games in second, J-Man finishing in third with no front wing. Lone Fiber finishing fourth. Iso Skits will be coming around to finish in fifth. F1 Twitch coming around to finish in sixth for Haas. And K-Man, who is well behind now, who, you know, you might as well just spin out one last time on the final lap, considering you spun out 20 times before. But just for good laughs, but K-Man will be coming round the final sector now to finish in 7th on his debut race. What a race we've seen today between all the drivers. Bonker Boy, I believe that is the first win for Bonker Boy, so has been a great drive for him. Just a bit unfortunate for Lindsay Games, but at least Lindsay could pull it together in the last lap and get P2 after being having a collision on that safety car restart. J-Man, also a good result for him, P3. He was leading the race at one time, but now he will be finishing, well, he's still finishing in the podium places, so still good points for him. Good points from the Mercedes and the Red Bull. The Red Bull, I do believe they're leading the constructors, so, or maybe that's Div 2, maybe the Williams is leading the constructors here. So, there's actually no Williams cars that have finished today. Not sure what K-Man's doing. If I was you, K-Man, I'd just get across that line before you get any more penalties. There we go, the race is finished, and all these drivers that have finished today will be getting points for their drivers' standings and the constructor standings. Sorry for the delayed broadcast today, we had a bit of technical issues with the crossplay, but we will be getting that sorted today for Div 2. Thank you for tuning in today for the Div 1 race in Japan, and I will see you guys later today for the Div 2 race. But let's just watch this podium celebration for Bonker Boy's first podium, or first win actually in the race, in the Oceania Racing League. Lindsay Gaines will be getting used to standing on that podium, and I'm pretty sure Lindsay Gaines will be going P1 in the Drivers' Championship standings. Remember, if you want to join this racing league, just head on over to our links on YouTube and you can join the Discord and apply for a team. Doesn't matter how fast you are, as you can see, K-Man is a prime example of someone who, you know, doesn't have the best pace but is still racing. So, you know, anyone can join, just make sure you're good at doing racing close together with other drivers and you'll be fine. Here we are, this is the final standings for today. Lots of these drivers won't be getting points though because they did not complete 80% of the laps. Let's take a quick look at Race Director for any possible race disputes that could be filed at the end. We got K-Man, who has taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 actually pit stops. It's quite a lot of pit stops for one driver in a race. Thank you for tuning in today. I'm going to end the stream now, and I'll see you again for Div 2 at 5 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time today. Thank you.